Louis 5 inches height advantage. Their offensive goal to our left, and Nash out-jumped it. Got it over to Cron. In front court, Deacon on the right. The 15-footer, good. And the Cats are away 2-0. Kentucky is 1-3-1 zone. St. Louis attacks with Ulrich in front court. Cron waving him off to the side. Pass to Nays on the right. Across the zone to Reinberg. In the left corner it goes to Parks with a whistle. 3-second violation by Beckmeyer of St. Louis. The ball goes over to Kentucky under the St. Louis basket. Cron to Mobley. And the Wildcats swing to the attack at the southern basket to our right. Cron whips to Conley. 25 feet straight away. He moves to the left, deals to Deacon from 30 feet. Got it! Deacon from the right side, then from the left side. And it's 4-0 for the Wildcats. For St. Louis, Reinberg in front court. High one on the baseline. Picked up by Beckmeyer in the right corner. Double teamed and a foul. Offensive, Beckmeyer of St. Louis. Pinned into the corner. Beckmeyer tried to come out with his body. Tried to bull his way through. The ball goes over to Kentucky. St. Louis has yet to get a shot. Here in front court, Cron breaks, gives. Conley, left corner, shot, good. The Cats storm ahead by 6-0. Ulrich of St. Louis over the timeline. Comes in on the zone, flips it back outside to Reinberg. Double teamed. He gets it over now to Ulrich. Ulrich double teamed, waving it, throwing it out of bounds to Kentucky. St. Louis about to get stampeded. They have been down the floor 3 times without getting a shot. Cron in front court over the timeline gives to Mobley. Offensive charging by Mobley, who lost his balance and fell into Ulrich. First foul against Kentucky, one against each team. The Billikens take over. John Bennington has Ulrich talking to him at the baseline as it comes in play now. He gives it right back to Reinberg. In front court for St. Louis, it's over to Ulrich, still deep to the right against Cron. He moves in against Mobley now in his double team of the zone. Outside is coming deep to get the pass is Rich Nays. Over to the left, Reinberg. Into the corner, Parks. Shot hit the top of the backboard. Cron rebounds, but loses the ball to Parks of St. Louis, who gives, and Beckmeyer misses an open shot. Cron outside with a Kentucky rebound. Up in front court, loses it. Gets it to Beckmeyer of St. Louis, and now Kentucky loses its poise. Beckmeyer back in front court for the Billikens as the Wildcats go down twice without getting a shot. They lead 6-0. Reinberg from 20, missed it. On a rebound, Cron of Kentucky gives it to Mobley in front court. It's to Nash on the right from the free throw line. Nash missed it. Missed everything. St. Louis has got it. Ulrich takes the rebound. So the Wildcats have failed to score. Their last 3 trips down still lead 6-0. Ulrich of St. Louis in front court. Holds it up out deep now. The zone is 1-3-1. Across the way, it goes to Ulrich and back to Reinberg. In the corner to Beckmeyer. Up the side, walking by Reinberg. Adolph Rupp off the bench yelling to Tom Cron as Mobley steps out of bounds to put it in play. Flips it in to Cron, who slows it down a bit. The Wildcats running hot for a 6-0 lead. Lost their poise. Now Rupp slows them down to get them set. Here it is on the right to Nash. Breaks to the free throw line. Down the middle. Missed it. St. Louis clears as Rich Parks comes off with the rebound. 4 times without a point, and the Cats still lead 6-0. Rick Reinberg in front court for the Billikens hits Beckmeyer under the basket, wide open to lay it in on Deacon. And there it goes now. How long can Kentucky keep it up? They've been down 4 times without a point. They still lead by 4 after 3 minutes of play. Nash has got it in the pivot. Moves to the left side. Throws it over the head of Cron into backcourt, and St. Louis gets the ball. 5 times without a point. Kentucky stormed ahead red hot and now has come apart. Rich Parks, a 6'6 sophomore, putting it in play on the right side of offensive court, deals it deep to Reinberg. Reinberg gives to Beckmeyer. He's wide open on Deacon to the left. It is no good. Nash for the rebound. Beckmeyer wide open to the baseline left of the basket about 5 feet, bounced it off the front of the rim. In front court, Mobley deals deep to Cron. Kentucky has not set it up yet. Nash in a pivot, immediately fouled by Parks of St. Louis. Parks draws his first, the second on St. Louis. Here at 16:37 of the first half. Nash will get 1 shot.
Nash will get 1 free throw.
Deacon hit his first 2 trips down the court. Conley hit the 3rd time Kentucky came down, and the Wildcats now have been down 6 times without scoring a point. Nash on the free throw line, got it. Kentucky goes ahead 7-2, and St. Louis takes possession. They're down by 5. 6-1. Rick Reinberg over the timeline. Whips on the baseline to Parks. Off the right side, the pass is to Nays. Outside Ulrich against Conley. Double teamed. He gets it over. And a 15-footer by Reinberg. No good, but goaltending is called by Beckmeyer, which gives the ball to Kentucky. Offensive goaltending. Beckmeyer had his hands in the sphere of the basket extended above the rim. Adolph Rupp yelling to Mobley as he moves up in the front court, hits Deacon on the left. Deacon moves in, reverses on Nays, kicks it off to Cron, to Nash in the corner. Nash comes up the side, looks to the basket, gives to Conley. On the left side, Deacon. The long shot, short. On the rebound, a foul. A holding foul on St. Louis. Beckmeyer gets his second foul. And the third against the Billikens. Deacon will be the shooter.
His second 13 foul.
Deacon is hitting 74.1% at the free throw line. He leads Kentucky with 4 points. His free throw, good. Kentucky back ahead by 6 at 8-2. We've played just 4 minutes here at Lexington, the final game of the season. In front court, Reinberg for St. Louis. A high one to Parks in the right corner. He lobs to Nays, knocked out of bounds by Mobley, off the foot of Nays. Kentucky gets it. Quick play by Mobley. Mobley flips to Cron. Kentucky trying for win number 22 of the season. Over the center stripe, he flips to Deacon on the left. To Mobley coming behind him. Pulls up, looks to the middle, gives to Deacon from 20. No good. On the rebound, St. Louis. Bennington off the bench, thinking Cron had fouled his rebounder, Sam Ulrich. Up to Nays, to Beckmeyer. Hit the rim of the basket. Parks lobs to Beckmeyer, wide open. He blew it. Hit the underside of the rim, picked it up, and laid it in. Beckmeyer's second field goal, and it's 8-4 Kentucky. Beckmeyer came up with a wide-open crip shot and hit the rim of the basket, coming up with it. Here it is to Nash on the right side of offensive court. He reverses on Parks for a crip shot. Beckmeyer blocked it beautifully. Beautiful play by Beckmeyer. The fans yelled goaltending, but it was clearly hit on the rise. Up in the front court, it's passed over to Parks on the baseline left. Shot over the rim to Mobley of Kentucky. And the Wildcats run out, but it's shut off by one man, Ulrich. Whipped in front court, Deacon is open on the right from 10. Missed it. On the rebound, Wiley up to Parks of St. Louis. He's got a man, but doesn't see him coming down court open. Over to Ulrich. John Bennington yelling to him. Neither team can hit now after a red-hot Kentucky start. Walking by St. Louis, Sam Ulrich. Well, a hatful of mistakes here in 5:18 of play. Neither team has made a change. Capacity crowd at Lexington watching Mobley in front court, bounce it to Deacon and take it back wide to the left. Outside to Conley, back to Mobley coming to the right. Can't clear for a shot, gives to Deacon. Left side to Conley, he's in there. Gives to Nash, and the shot's blocked beautifully by Beckmeyer, picked up by Conley. Beckmeyer doing a beautiful job defensively under there, knocking Kentucky shots down. Here it is on the left side to Deacon, turns his back and kicks to Conley outside. Conley looks, gives, Cron kicks it off to Deacon, whips to Nash on the right. He's open from 10, got it. Nash gets his third point. Kentucky ahead 10-4, the third time by 6. Rick Reinberg of St. Louis in front court, to Nays on the right. A one-bounce dribble and a 15-foot jumper, no good. Rebounding, Cron of Kentucky. Whips to midcourt, Mobley. 3 against 2 with Deacon and Conley. It's Deacon, shot blocked and picked up in the right corner by Conley. Taken away as Reinberg took away what was to have been a lob pass to Deacon. Timeout, St. Louis. The first time out of a wild, rip-snorting game here at Lexington. When you stop for gasoline at a Standard Oil station, you need not pay for power your car can't use, as Standard Oil dealers offer you your choice of 3 fine gasolines: Crown, Crown Extra, and Super Crown Extra. Whatever your car's engine's requirements, there's a Standard Oil gasoline that will fill the bill with maximum satisfaction and economy. And your neighborhood Standard Oil dealer invites you to be back with us Friday the 13th from Minneapolis. Kentucky plays Louisville or the Mid-America champion in the NCAA tournament. And the action here on these same Standard Oil stations, beginning at 7:45 Eastern Time. This is a wild and woolly wind-up to the season tonight. Ted Deacon hit his first 2 times down court in 39 seconds of play, first from 15, then from 30, and then when Beckmeyer committed an offensive foul, gave the ball to Kentucky, Conley hit from the corner to make it 6-0, and then the game came apart. Mobley got tagged with an offensive foul. Beckmeyer got St. Louis's first point at 17:09. Then Nash and Deacon hit free throws to give Kentucky another 6-point lead. After Beckmeyer hit, Nash connected, and Kentucky is running ahead 10-4 right now. St. Louis calling the timeout here at 13:39 of the first half. We're ready to resume action with no change in the Kentucky lineup, and for St. Louis, there'll be no change there. The pass comes into Ulrich, and the Billikens are back on the attack. Over the timeline against a 1-3-1 point defense. Ulrich is double-teamed by Cron and Mobley, bounces on the side to Nays, moves to the corner, back to the basket, flips across the zone to Reinberg. High one to Beckmeyer, he's got it for a gimme. Beckmeyer dunks it for his third field goal. He has all St. Louis points, cuts the Kentucky lead to 4. Now the offensive strategy of St. Louis is apparent. They're going to put the big man under the basket and use him. Nash from 25 misses, and Nays rebounds for St. Louis. The Billikens have got their 6'10 man, Gil Beckmeyer, in under the basket. They're passing rim high to him, and he dunked that last one. So Deacon's got a problem. Here's Reinberg in the top of the slot, digs it out, shoots it down the middle. Walking or 3-second violation is called against St. Louis. Second time that infraction has given the ball to Kentucky, brings Bennington off the Billiken bench. 12:55 in the first half here at Lexington. Kentucky leading by 4. Cron gives to Conley. Moves into the top of the slot, cuts down the middle, gives to Deacon. Left side shot short, taking it off Parks of St. Louis. Kentucky ineffective from the outside now. It goes over to Reinberg. In front court to Ulrich. Moves in, gives back to Reinberg, pumps on the baseline to Parks, gives it, knocked out of bounds by Nash. Intended for Beckmeyer. St. Louis trying to come around the horn to the right to get it on the baseline to their big 6'10 man. Parks to the right of the basket, over the baseline, looks, feeds to the right side, Nays against Nash. He goes to the baseline, under the basket, and lays it up short. Parks with a rebound, no good, but a Kentucky foul on the play. Cron gets his first foul. That's the second foul against Kentucky.
Second team foul. Parks will get 2 free throws.
Rich Parks, a sophomore from St. Louis, scoreless, will try for 2. Only Beckmeyer has scored. Parks shoots. Good. St. Louis, down by 6 on 3 occasions, has come back to within 3 now. Parks can close it even better. He looks and shoots. Good. So the score now stands 10-8. St. Louis is going to go to a full court press. It's passed up to Nash. Nash drives in front court down the right side. Goes to the corner, whips it under the basket to Deacon. Here's the hook. No good. St. Louis has got it. Kentucky is doing nothing off the offensive board with rebounding, and now St. Louis has got the tie-up chance. They're beginning to take charge of this game very rapidly. Beckmeyer under the basket, taps and misses. Nash has got it, and the catcher running 4 on 3. Nash in front court, foul by Ulrich of St. Louis. Ulrich tried to hook a dribble away from Nash and drew the 4th foul against the Billikens. Ulrich has 1, Parks has 1, and Beckmeyer has 2. Nash on the line for 1 shot. Nash is 1 for 1, entered the game hitting 78.2% of his shots. Needs 22 to tie Alex Groza tonight for the all-time scoring lead. He's got 3. Chance for number 4, no good. Rebounding Parks of St. Louis, and the Billikens for the second time can tie it up. We're into the last 12 minutes of the first half here in Lexington. Rick Reinberg over the timeline gives a high one to Ulrich. On the right, it's down into the corner to Parks. He lays it up, no good. Blocked by Deacon, but right back to Parks. Up the side to Ulrich. Looking to the baseline. He gives it to Reinberg from 20 feet short. Glances off to Mobley of Kentucky. Whips it over to Deacon. Brings it in front court. Tacked by Ulrich. He looks to Cron. Watches Mobley. Gives right side to Conley. Lobs to Mobley and gets it back. Conley brings it out and gives. Cron fakes. Bounce past Nash. Back to the basket on Parks. Double team. Backs away. Looks at Deacon on the post and gives to Cron. Cron moves to the right side on Nays. Throws it to Conley. Left from 5. Missed it. On the rebound, St. Louis, as Beckmeyer takes off the rebound. And for St. Louis, the third chance to tie up a 10-8 ball game. That had a red-hot running start and now is bogged down to a scoreless duel after 9 minutes. On the baseline, Parks in the left corner. Gives and Nays from 10 to Beckmeyer, who lays it in and ties the game. Beckmeyer with all 4 St. Louis field goals, and the Billikens have come back from 6 points on 3 occasions to tie it for the first time tonight at 10-10. Whipped on the left side to Deacon. He fakes a shot, whips it out to Conley from 22 feet. Missed it. On the rebound, St. Louis. Reinberg against Conley, the foul on Kentucky. Larry Conley draws his first foul. That's 3 fouls on Kentucky. The Wildcats lost their poise after a couple of real hot minutes at the beginning of the game when they ran ahead by 6-0, and then for 5 straight trips down the court, failed to score. Now Reinberg, one shot coming on the St. Louis free throw line, can put the Billikens ahead. He's sighting and shooting good, and St. Louis has come on top now, 11-10. In a full court press, they take it away from Kentucky, but Deacon gets it back to Conley in front court. Hooked it, baseline, Deacon. Outside, Cron from 20 feet. Missed it. Parks of St. Louis clearing. Well, Kentucky now has lost all its touch. Nash hit at 14:04, and they haven't scored since. Kentucky's been 4 minutes without a point, and yet they're down by only 1. They can't hit from the outside, and they can't get inside. Nays gives over to Ulrich, who threatens from the outside, pivots against the two-man zone, gives it over to the right side. Nays from 15, got it. Nays, the first Billiken other than Beckmeyer to get a field goal, and St. Louis is ahead 13-10. We're into the last 10 minutes of the first half. Cron up in the front court, takes it down the left side, turns his back to the basket, gives to Deacon from 20 feet, way short. Deacon rebounds from 10, hooks, good. Deacon leads Kentucky now with 7 points. Kentucky went 4.5 minutes without a point, and they're trailing by 1. In front court, Reinberg to Ulrich. He moves down the right side. A bounce pass into the knees of Nays, who digs it out, and Mobley bats it away from him out of bounds. Nays trying to recover, touched it last, and Kentucky gets possession. The Wildcats have the go-ahead chance as Tommy Cron takes it coming in. Cron moves up over the center stripe. Down the left side to Deacon. Brings it out to the free throw line, goes down the middle. The shot to the right, no good. No rebounding strength at all for Kentucky as Beckmeyer clears. 9 minutes in the first half. Kentucky can't hit, and St. Louis can't take advantage. They're up by 1 point. Parks on the baseline, hits the side of the backboard. Nash knocked it out of bounds. The Kentucky bench is claiming the pass hit the side of the backboard. Nash is pointing it out that the pass, but they give it to St. Louis. It's in to Nays, and Conley pushed him right in the back. Second foul on Conley is the 4th foul on Kentucky. The shooter, Rich Nays, who's on the free throw line for his first time. He's got 1 shot. St. Louis has not missed a free throw. The shot, good. St. Louis now leads by 2 points at 14-12. Kentucky against a full court press, loses it out of bounds. Nays, St. Louis touching it last. The Wildcats not operating very effectively against the St. Louis press. Now St. Louis backs off, gives them a half court to work with. Terry Mobley comes over the center line, flips to Deacon on the left, who brings it to the top of the slot and deals to Nash from the screen. The long shot, no good. Taking it off, Beckmeyer of St. Louis. Kentucky going for longer and longer shots and hitting fewer and fewer. Up in the front court, Parks hands to Ulrich in close quarters. The zone not pressing so much now. Greenberg down the left side. Over the basket and out of bounds to Kentucky on an attempted pass to Beckmeyer on the baseline. So for the second straight time, Kentucky tries to tie it up. Tommy Cron over the center line, drives all the way, missed it. St. Louis has got it as Ulrich picks it up. 8:11 to go in the first half. How about this for a score after 12 minutes of play? Up in the front court, Parks to the left for St. Louis. Bounce pass in the 3-second zone, picked up by Nays, who backs away wide, flips across the zone to Reinberg. On the baseline, Beckmeyer shooting no good from 10, tapped off and taken by Conley, and immediately hit by Parks of St. Louis. Second foul by Parks, and the 5th on the Billikens. Conley will get 1 shot. Conley hitting 73.8%, owns 1 of Kentucky's 5 field goals. Each team has 5 field goals. Conley a chance to cut the St. Louis lead in half. Off at the south basket to our right, kicks the left foot back and shoots. Good. St. Louis 14, Kentucky 13. 27 points in better than 12 minutes of play by both teams. Ulrich of St. Louis in front court. Iwan on the baseline. Beckmeyer wide open to lay it in. Beckmeyer has 5 field goals, and St. Louis leads 16-13. Tommy Cron moving up past the center stripe. Throws it to Nash on the right. To Deacon on the free throw line. He fakes, breaks, misses it. Nash way too high with a rebound shot. And Ulrich takes it for St. Louis. Kentucky's play tonight about what it was last Monday night in Tuscaloosa after the first couple of minutes. Here it is, knocked by Conley up on the backboards of St. Louis, and Nash takes it off. Goes to the Kentucky free throw line, goes off to the left corner, gives to Mobley, who comes to the free throw line, backs away, comes again down the right side, and Nays fouled him across the arm. Nays gets his first foul. That's 6 on St. Louis. Mobley will get one shot. Mobley is scoreless, the same as the other guard, Tommy Cron, as Kentucky has yet to get a point from its 2 guards. We're into the last 7 minutes of the first half, St. Louis by 3. Mobley sighting with both feet up on the line, about a foot apart. The shot's good. St. Louis takes possession with a 16-14 lead. Kentucky 3 times led by 6 points. But the Wildcats have 1 field goal in the last 6 minutes of play. Here it is, Nays to Ulrich, 20 feet away. He passes over to Reinberg. Across the way to Nays. He moves out, gives to Ulrich, to Reinberg from 20 feet. The shot good. Reinberg has his 3rd point. St. Louis leads 18-14. Tommy Cron to Deacon in front court on the left side for Kentucky from 25 feet. Missed it again. On the rebound, St. Louis. Kentucky still trying to hit from the way outside. The Wildcats are not working an offense that gives them any close shooting. Reinberg up into front court. Over to Ulrich from 20 feet straight away. Missed it. Nash with an unopposed rebound. Has Kentucky running 4-on-2. Down to the left corner, Mobley. Over to Cron by way of Deacon, and his shot no good. Beckmeyer for St. Louis. 6 minutes and a half. St. Louis leads by 4. This game is about scoring-wise what Saturday afternoon's game was, but not intentionally. They got Beckmeyer in shooting position. He missed it. Parks takes the rebound, and he missed it. Rebounding Deacon of Kentucky. Up to Mobley, who drops it but gets it back. To Conley in front court. To Cron down the middle. To Nash on the right. Outside Conley, a St. Louis foul. Rick Reinberg. And Nash will get 1+. They signaled that on 35, but 25 held his hand up.
Committed by Nays, his 2nd.
They're going to put it on Nays, although they signaled and Reinberg held his hand up. Nash is 1+, and the free throw good. This will be the first bonus free throw of the game. That was the karate defense that committed the foul. Here's Nash, bonus good, 2 free throws, cuts the St. Louis lead in half. 5.5 minutes till halftime. St. Louis ahead 18-16. Reinberg moving up and over the timeline for the Billikens. Gives it to Ulrich. Taken away by Mobley. He's 2-2 with Cron. Mobley all the way. Gets a bad pass out to Nash. Trying blindly to save off balance to Cron, and the pivot is foul. This is Reinberg's personal. That's his first. And Cron will be on the Kentucky free throw line.
His first. Cron will shoot 1+1.
Cron gets 1+. The fans oohing. They thought he may have been shooting. Now here's Gary Garrison coming off the St. Louis bench as Cron got it. Garrison being sent in for St. Louis. 21-year-old junior from St. Louis is 6'8", weighs 220. He has 153 points, a 7.6 average. He's St. Louis number 7 scorer. Parks is being taken out. Garrison from the field hits 41.4. On the free throw line, only 56.5%. Cron will get a bonus shot. The free throw by Cron, no good. And it's taken off by St. Louis with a 1-point lead. 5:07 in the clock running here in the first half at Lexington. St. Louis now has 2 big ones for Kentucky to match. Beckmeyer at 6'10", and Garrison at 6'8". Garrison gives, and Beckmeyer lays it in with a foul on the play. It nullifies the basket. No foul. Apparently a 3-second violation. They give the ball to Kentucky, and the Wildcats have a chance to go ahead now. Never was a signal, but it apparently was a 3-second violation. Here's Deacon out to Conley. Off the right to Nash. A 20-footer by Nash. No good. On the rebound, St. Louis, as Garrison picks up a bouncing rebound. Over to Reinberg. How about this? 4.5 minutes in the first half, and the leading team has 18 points. Beckmeyer back to the basket on the baseline to the right. Double team. Loses it. And a foul by Mobley. That's 5 on Kentucky. Mobley and Conley each have 2. Cron has 1. Beckmeyer, who owns 5 of St. Louis' 7 field goals, is on the line for 1 shot. 4.5 minutes left. Beckmeyer ready to shoot his 1 free throw. No good. Tapped in by Garrison. Garrison tapping it in to put St. Louis ahead 20-17. Kentucky averaging 87.7 per game, and St. Louis averaging 75.8, but they can't score tonight. Here it is on the right to Nash, who shoots from 20. No good again. Rebounding foul by Cron of Kentucky. Cron's second foul. That's 6 on Kentucky. St. Louis will get 1 shot. Ishmael comes off the Kentucky bench. 21-year-old senior from Mount Sterling. He's 6'5", 207. His best scoring night of the season was here against Vanderbilt 2 weeks ago when he hit 20. Coming out of the game is Cron. Well, Kentucky ran tonight like they would blow St. Louis out of the gym. They went ahead 6-0 and then collapsed. 5 trips down court without a single point. St. Louis down 3 times by 6 points, finally caught up at 10-10. Went ahead, and Kentucky can't catch up now. Beckmeyer, 1+ the shooter. Archekis just 1. And the free throw good. The bonus is now in effect against both teams. St. Louis leads by 4 again. 4:05 and the clock running in the first half. Mobley is in front court. From 25 feet, Mobley misses. St. Louis got the rebound. They got a man wide open, but he is not caught by Nays, who flips it over to Ulrich. Kentucky trying to do everything outside the 20-foot zone, and they can't hit. Down the left side, back out front to Rick Reinberg, to Ulrich on the free throw line. He hooks it over to Reinberg, who moves to the free throw line, flips it off to Ulrich, wide open from 15. He missed it. Nash taps it off on the side where Deacon can handle it. To Mobley in front court. Mobley's got an open shot and lays it in. A hard driving play by Mobley. Up into the crowd went Rick Reinberg, close behind Mobley. So the St. Louis lead is cut in half at 21-19, 3:22 in the first half. Ulrich of St. Louis from 20 feet, shot short. On the rebound, Ishmael to Conley, 1 against 2. He whips to Deacon, moving down the right side. Back to Nash, over to Conley. He goes from 30, no good. Beckmeyer takes it for St. Louis. The fans beginning to yell a little bit now to move in for better shots. Apparently, Kentucky unable to hit from the extreme outside. Up into front court now. Reinberg of St. Louis moving slowly. Gives across the zone to Nays. They have the 2 big guys on the baseline. To Nays. In the corner, Garrison. In the 3-second zone to Nays. He lays it up, no good, and Ishmael fouled him. Ishmael's first foul. That'll put Nays on the St. Louis free throw line. Nays will be 1+ or 2. Let's see, 2 shots. Nays has not missed a free throw, but he came into the game hitting only 54.2%. As a matter of fact, St. Louis has got 4 of its starters hitting less than 60% of its free throws. He missed the first. St. Louis leads by 2. 2:40 in the first half. We're at Lexington. Another capacity crowd looking on. The shot, no good again. On the rebound, St. Louis. As Ulrich moved in, Conley fouled him. That's 3 fouls on Conley, and St. Louis goes 1+. This time it's Ulrich. Ulrich is hitting only 50% of his free throws. He's the poorest of the starters. As a matter of fact, Reinberg is the best of the starters. He's hitting only 65.2% himself. The free throw, no good. On the rebound, Garrison, as Kentucky still can't rebound on the offensive board, and Garrison threw it out of bounds, but they give it to St. Louis. Garrison sort of passed it to himself. Conley is taken out of the game, and Cron is put back in. Conley's got 3 fouls now. St. Louis leads 21-19. Garrison out of bounds, whips it to Reinberg. Jump shot from 10, no good. Rebounding Ishmael of Kentucky. Pulling quickly in front court, Nays almost took it away from him. He gives to Deacon and gets it quickly back to Cron. Left side, Mobley. Down the side to Deacon, to Ishmael on the baseline, to Cron from 5. Got it. First field goal by Cron. Kentucky catches up 21-all with 2:10 in the half. Second tie of the game. First time Kentucky has been able to tie up, though, since they fell behind. Here it is to Garrison in the left corner. Shooting short. Beckmeyer tapped twice and in. Beckmeyer has 6 field goals. 23-21 St. Louis. Beckmeyer has 6 of St. Louis's 9 field goals. 1:47 and a half. Deacon on the left, back to Mobley. Mobley on the top of the slot to Ishmael, to the corner, Cron, back to Ishmael, out to Mobley, to Deacon, from 20 to the left, short. On the rebound, Ulrich of St. Louis. St. Louis is giving Kentucky nothing off the offensive board. 1.5 minutes till halftime. St. Louis 23-21. Reinberg in front court. Gives it and gets it back from Ulrich. On the baseline, Garrison. Double teamed. High outside to Ulrich. Right back to Beckmeyer on the right. Jump shot short. Garrison fighting, getting it. Mays. Shot good, and a foul on the play against Cron of Kentucky. The goal is good. Nay's second field goal of the game. Cron, like Conley, now has 3 fouls. Nays is on the line for 1 shot. He's had 3, hit 1, missed 2. The shot's no good. Garrison tapped it in, his second field goal. So St. Louis has broken a 21-all deadlock with 6 straight points. 27-21 St. Louis. Mobley up in the front court. Gives to Deacon on the left, back to Cron. On the right to Nash. Back to Cron. Has his shot blocked by Garrison. Out to bounds. It goes to St. Louis. Well, Kentucky's up against the big men tonight, and they have not been able to handle them. Beckmeyer first, and now with help from Garrison, are giving Kentucky Wildcats a tremendous amount of trouble here tonight. Here they go now. Garrison on the baseline out of the left corner, shooting no good. Beckmeyer taps no good, but a foul. The foul is on Beckmeyer of St. Louis. His third foul stops the clock with 36 seconds and a half.
Foul committed by Beckmeyer, his third personal foul.
John Bennington off the St. Louis bench decides to return Rich Parks, a starting forward, to the lineup. Parks is trying to find the official score. They're trying to wave to him, but he can't find him. Now they locate the center of the floor. And Parks replaces Beckmeyer, who leaves the game with 3 fouls. Nash on the Kentucky free throw line held a 1 field goal tonight, is 1+. And the free throw, good. Nash is 4 for 5 at the free throw line. Shooting, no good. St. Louis has got it with a 5-point lead at 27-22. Each team has been ahead now by as much as 6 points. Here's Reinberg moving up the front court for St. Louis. Gives to the baseline Parks and takes it back. Moves down the right, drives to the 3-second zone. Throws a fancy pass out of bounds to Kentucky. 17 seconds left in the half. Tommy Cron moving up the court with 14, the clock running. Now 12. Swings to the left. 8. Back to the left side, Deacon. He gives, and out of the corner, Ishmael got it. The half is over as St. Louis does not get a shot away. And at the end of the first half, St. Louis leads by 3 points. The score, St. Louis 27, Kentucky 24. Well, that's the first half of it. We'll tell you the individual scoring right after a 10-second pause for station identification. This is the Standard Oil Sports Network.
Radio Louisville, WINN, CBS for Kentuckiana.
This is Claude Sullivan back at the Coliseum in Lexington, where St. Louis is ahead of Kentucky 27-24 here at halftime on a fine 13-point first half by Gil Beckmeyer, their 6'10 junior center, who has hit 6 field goals and 1 for 2 at the free throw line. 13 points by Beckmeyer. Next with 5 is Rich Nays, 2 field goals, 1 free throw, but he's missed his last 3 attempts. Substitute Gary Garrison came in for 4 points with 2 field goals. 3 points by Rick Reinberg with a field goal and a free throw, and 2 points from Rich Parks at the free throw line. Scoreless is Sam Ulrich, who had 1 free throw and missed it. For Kentucky, they're being led by Ted Deacon, who has 7 points with 3 field goals and a free throw. Nash also has 7 points with Checkers. Nash has 6 points. Nash had a chance to get 7, but missed his bonus free throw. and has hit 4 out of 6. So he's got 6 points, a field goal and 4 for 6 at the free throw line. The other Wildcats, Larry Conley has 3, a field goal and a free throw. Terry Mobley has 3, a field goal and a free throw. Tommy Cron has 3, a field goal and a free throw in 2 tries. Charles Ishmael has 2 points with a field goal. Each team has used 1 substitute, Ishmael of Kentucky, Garrison of St. Louis. Personal fouls against St. Louis. Beckmeyer has 3, Parks has 2, Nays has 2, Reinberg and Ulrich each have 1. As St. Louis has committed a total of 9 personal fouls. For the Kentucky Wildcats, they have 9 fouls. Cron and Conley each with 3, Mobley with 2, and Ishmael with 1. St. Louis has scored 12 field goals. Kentucky has only 8 on the free throw line. Kentucky has hit 8 free throws out of 11 chances. St. Louis, meanwhile, has hit 5 free throws out of 10 attempts. St. Louis hitting only 50%. So St. Louis has picked up a 8-point edge on Kentucky from the field. The Wildcats have picked up 3 of them back and are down here at halftime, 27-24. Well, Homer Walter of Louisville has given a special arrangement here to a song, Kansas City. They'll be performing here at halftime. Perhaps that'll be some of the music that you'll hear in the background of the Coliseum here in Lexington. Kentucky started the game tonight as though they would get ahead of St. Louis very quickly and have quite a romping final home game. However, after Deacon had hit from 15 from the right and 30 from the left, Beckmeyer committed an offensive foul. Conley blew down the middle and hit from the left corner, and Kentucky led 6-0, and the game was only a minute and 1 second old. However, at that point, Kentucky's game seemed to go right out the window because they got only 1 field goal for the next 10 and 1/2 minutes of play. After Mobley committed an offensive foul, Beckmeyer went under the basket for St. Louis. Nash and Deacon, fouled by Parks and Beckmeyer, got free throws to give Kentucky a second lead of 6 points. Beckmeyer got a field goal, but Nash hit from 15, and after 6 minutes, Kentucky was still leading by 6 points. They had their third 6-point lead when St. Louis took a timeout, the only one of the first half, at 13:39. After the timeout, Beckmeyer went under to get 1, and Parks, fouled by Cron, got both free throws to get St. Louis within 2 points. After Ulrich fouled Nash, who missed the free throw, Beckmeyer got another crip shot, and St. Louis tied the game for the first time, 10-10 at 10:47. Conley fouled Reinberg, who hit the free throw. Nays hit from the side, and the Billikens led by 3. Deacon's hook shot narrowed it to 13-12. Conley fouled Nays, who hit another free throw, but when Parks fouled Conley, he got it back. Beckmeyer dunked one to put St. Louis back in front by 3. Nays fouled Mobley, who cut it to 16-14. Reinberg got his only field goal of the first half there at 6:31 from 20 feet, and St. Louis led 18-14. Nash, fouled by Nays, got both free throws, and then Cron, fouled by Reinberg, got 1 out of 2 to pull Kentucky within a point at 18-17. Beckmeyer, fouled by Mobley, didn't get it. Garrison came back with a field goal, and the St. Louis Billikens led by 3. Cron fouled Beckmeyer, who made it 21-17. Then Mobley got a driving crip shot. Nays and Ulrich missed back-to-back field goals on fouls by Ishmael and Conley. And then Cron, 5 feet right out in front of the basket at 2:09, tied the game 21-all, the second tie of the night. Beckmeyer got a tap and Nays a jump shot to put St. Louis ahead by 4. Then when Cron fouled Nays, he missed the free throw, but Garrison tapped in the missed shot, and it was 27-21 in favor of St. Louis with just over a minute in the first half. Nash missed a free throw. Ishmael hit from the corner, and the score was 27-24. St. Louis leading, and we're at halftime here in Lexington. Here are your official first half shooting percentages. The Kentucky Wildcats have hit 8 shots on 32 attempts, giving Kentucky only 25% from the field here in the first half. St. Louis has 11 field goals in the first half of play, and the Billikens have taken 36 shots, giving St. Louis only 30.6%, as neither team is able to hit here tonight. In the matter of rebounding, St. Louis, with their height, is doing a tremendous job. They have a better than double the production against Kentucky, 36-17, St. Louis over Kentucky on rebounds. Individually, Parks, the big 6'6" sophomore, has 9, and Beckmeyer, the junior center, has 9. Nays and Ulrich each have 6. Nash is Kentucky's top rebounder with 7. Cron has 3, and the rest of the team 2 each. So that's the picture on the first half. Pretty much a fact of Kentucky trying to hit from the outside, and they can't do it. Just about what happened last Monday night in Tuscaloosa when Kentucky decided to go for that long shot. They couldn't get it, while at the same time Alabama was getting crip shots. Well, here tonight we're seeing something of the same thing because St. Louis is getting those easy dunkers by Beckmeyer under the basket, and Kentucky trying to go from the outside is unable to do so. The gentleman who does the Billiken broadcast, Jack Buck from KMOX in St. Louis, is here, and at the end of the first half, let's find out from Jack what he thinks about it from the Billiken standpoint.
Well, strictly from a Billiken viewpoint, and the way things have been going, you would expect St. Louis to be ahead by about 10 at this point, and I'm not talking about the Kentucky Ball Club. They're undoubtedly a little bit flat after having won the conference title on Saturday, and any coach will tell you this is their toughest job, and I know that Adolph Rupp knew he had his hands full trying to get his ball club up. I thought they're going to run him right out of the Coliseum with their first 3 shots, but the kids hung in there, and they had a little stage fright at the beginning. They finally made their offense go a little bit, figured out the Kentucky zone, and, they've made 11 errors, St. Louis has. There have been 3 second violations, 2 traveling violations. They've thrown the ball away 6 times. And Kentucky hasn't done nearly that badly on errors. And so actually either ball club could be ahead by 10 if Kentucky were shooting the way we know they can shoot, or if St. Louis had been playing a ball game not quite so filled with mistakes as we've seen here this evening.
Jack, do you look for either team to completely turn around and come back out running well and shooting well?
I didn't think St. Louis had a chance here this evening, to tell you the truth, because they've lost a lot of ball games that they probably should have won this year through the very errors that you see going here. Now, that might hurt them at the end of the game because they're not a good ball handling team, and in fact, they're not a good shooting team. I'm waiting for the statistics of the first half, and I'm sure they're going to tell quite a story. The Bills have the definite height advantage, and I'm wondering how far Kentucky can go in tournament play as a result of that, because they're going to run into some big teams along the way, such as Wichita in our conference. I'm surprised that your boys aren't running any better than they are tonight, aren't you?
Yes, Jack, the first 3 shots that you saw there in about 1 minute and 10 seconds of play was about the best running that Kentucky really showed you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, but I know they can run much better than that. They have good speed. Look at here, 8 out of 32 on your home court for the conference champs. You know there's something wrong, right? Although St. Louis is playing good defense, the kids work at it.
I was going to say, I think St. Louis has been ready defensively for this game because they have studied the 1-3-1 zone and the way the big guys are down on the baseline attacking it. I think they're pretty deliberate with their offense, too.
They know what they're doing on defense. They'll never get run out of a ball game as a result, because until they get in very big foul trouble. When they have Garrison and Beckmeyer playing here, well, it's a pretty tough ball club to defense against for their opposition. I don't know what's going to happen. Beckmeyer with 3 personals, and he's got that one official looking him right in the throat all throughout the first half. And I know that Kentucky's going to set him up and get him out of the ball game as quickly as possible, driving on him and so forth. But if Beckmeyer is able to stay in the ball game, I think St. Louis has a chance to win this one.
Jack, I think when you look at it, though, that Kentucky Saturday afternoon won its conference championship, and St. Louis tied with Bradley for 3rd place and going back to Kiel Auditorium for a Saturday game with Bradley. The winner possibly could go to the NIT. They've got their mind on the Missouri Valley and not this game, haven't they?
I truthfully don't think they're good enough for the tournament play. But they believe that they'll get an invitation if they win this ball game tonight and then beat Bradley at home, because that will be the 2nd time this year they've defeated Bradley. They make their record 14-10, which is rather respectable because they do play a very, very tough schedule both in the conference and out. They still think they're going. That's one of the reasons they're bearing down right here. And I don't think they have that conference game on their mind. They know it'd be a real feather in their cap to beat the Baron here tonight.
Jack, when do you go to spring training?
Well, it'll be a week from Wednesday. I'm glad you asked because I like to talk about it. And it's certainly nice to look forward to a season where you know you've got a chance, and the Cardinals definitely do. You know, someone asked me how the Cardinals make out last year, just gigging me a little bit, and I told them that they had beaten 8 other teams out in the pennant race last year. And I have it figured out that if the National League hadn't been expanded, why the Cardinals would have won the pennant. Figure that one out.
This is Jack Buck that we're speaking with, fans, who does the St. Louis Cardinals games with Harry Carey at KMOX in St. Louis. Jack, what about the Cincinnati Reds? Because a lot of the fans here that will be listening to you tonight are Reds fans.
They still need a 3rd baseman. They have to play Cardenas every day at shortstop. Tommy Harper remains to be proven. 1 year doesn't make in the big leagues. But the big item is the comeback of Frank Robinson. He's the kind of guy that, like Hank Aaron, who can carry a ball club by himself. And if Robinson has as bad a year as he did last year, they're not going to do anything despite their good pitching. And, of course, there are a lot of things to look for in that ball club. They're a very interesting ball club because you don't know what Perky is going to do or Jay is going to do. But you know about Maloney and O'Toole and Nuxall and the others. And if Robinson comes back, well, they're as good as any ball club in the league. There's very little to choose between the Dodgers, the Giants, the Cardinals, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Cincinnati. Really, people aren't just, when these managers say they're one of 6 teams, that's the only thing they can say. You're just whistling in the dark if you try to pick a definite winner in the National League this year.
You think it could be as good a race as last year?
I think it could be even better because the Phillies are a better ball club. The Pirates have to come back somewhat. The Cubs have some great young talent coming up. At the end of the year, I think the Cubs showed the best minor league ball players who came on the scene. And they have a fine outfield and not much wrong with their ball club, a little more pitching. And they're going to win. And even the Mets in Houston are going to be better. It's going to be just a tremendous race. Ideal for the fans and ulcerating for the managers, to be sure.
Jack, what about the Cardinals this year? They'll be without St. Louis. Great Stan Musial for the first time in 22 years. What effect does that have on the ball club?
Not only Musial, we're going to be without Altman and without Sawatsky. And those three, despite their shortcomings, and between the three of them they had quite a few, they drove in a lot of runs. Now, I don't know where the runs are coming from. There's one fellow that the Cardinals are hoping for, a young outfielder by the name of Johnny Lewis from Atlanta. They haven't talked about him much. They don't want to put the pressure on him. But they're counting on him. And when you count on, they got Warwick, but he doesn't really fit into the picture right now. They're counting on the youngster from Atlanta, Johnny Lewis. And when you count on a youngster in the major leagues, you're asking for a little bit of trouble. If, on the other hand, he comes through, we've got a great infield, a fine young catcher, and McCarver will be there from the beginning of the year, and pitching as good as anybody, and anybody's pitching, including the Dodgers.
Well, Jack, thank you very, very much. We're close to a second half of play. We appreciate it. The best of luck. We'll see you in spring training.
Thank you. I better go down and get in a commercial, huh? Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Jack Buck, ladies and gentlemen, who does the St. Louis Cardinals games, and the Billikens, too, as we're at halftime here in Lexington, where St. Louis 27, Kentucky 24 is the score, with a crowd estimated at 12,200 looking on that sees Kentucky hitting only 25% of its shots, and St. Louis a shade better at 30.6%. St. Louis leading Kentucky rebounding by a whopping 36-17. Detergent. That's become a household word, most often associated with cleaning around the house, but detergent and motor oil? Sure, Standard Oil's RPM is the motor oil with ashless detergent that leaves no harmful ash, keeps combustion chambers clean, and moving parts free of sludge. So what does that mean to you and your motor? It means a lot. You get cleaner, smoother performance. You get thousands of extra miles without engine overhaul. You get more mileage, many more miles of trouble-free, carefree motoring. And you save on fuel, too. Smoother performance means less engine effort, so less fuel is required. You can save up to 1 gallon of gasoline in every 8 you use when you use RPM, the deposit-free motor oil. Ask for it at your nearby Standard Oil station. And for safety's sake, get a Standard Oil certified car check. The sure way to make sure you're driving a completely safe car. Your neighborhood Standard Oil dealer invites you to be back with us here on these same stations Friday night the 13th when Kentucky enters the NCAA at Minneapolis. Kentucky will be playing the first game there Friday night the 13th. Tip-off time will be 7 Central, 8 Eastern. So the broadcast will be originating on these same stations commencing at 7:45 Eastern Time next Friday the 13th. It'll be against either Louisville or the champion of the Mid-America Conference. Those two, Louisville and the Mid-America winner, will play off next Tuesday, 1 week from tomorrow, the 10th, at Evanston on the Northwestern campus to see which team will play the Kentucky Wildcats for the Mid-East Regional title. The warning horn here in Lexington. We're ready to go over the second half in just a few minutes. St. Louis will return Gil Beckmeyer to the starting lineup. He is their 6'10 center, leading scorer in the game with 13 points. The only player for either team in double figures here at halftime. He's playing with 3 personal fouls. While the Kentucky Wildcats, Mobley will be back in the guard with Tommy Cron. Ishmael will return in place of Larry Conley to play a forward with Ted Deacon. Nash remains in the pivot. St. Louis has Nays and Parks back at the forwards. Beckmeyer, as we said, in the pivot. Reinberg and Ulrich are at the guard. Stand by. St. Louis leads by 3, 27-24. The toss, the tap by Nash, taken by Ulrich in behind, driving. Mobley fouled him, blocking the shot. Mobley draws his third foul. So Kentucky has 3 starters, Cron, Conley, and Mobley, with 3 fouls. Mobley sends Ulrich to the free throw line for 2 shots. Ulrich, who hits only 50% on the season, has had 1 and missed it tonight. First shot, no good. St. Louis is hitting less than 50% as a team tonight. Second shot, no good. Nash rebound, knocked away by Parks. Nash recovers, gets it to Mobley. St. Louis has a 4-man defense waiting for Mobley, though. He gives it over to Ishmael. Cron goes to the pivot. Ishmael, left side, Nash. Fakes Parks. Flips it back to Ishmael. Ishmael setting it up. Kentucky's got 3 guards out there now. Goes over to Cron. Breaks to the right on Reinberg. Gives it to Mobley. Left side, Deacon. Outside, Cron. Lets a 25-footer go. Good. Cron's 5th point cuts the St. Louis lead to 1. 27-26 as the Cats strike the first time down court. Cron's fired up, waiting. Reinberg walking into front court, throws it over the head of Cron to Ulrich to the left. St. Louis attacking the south basket at our right this second half. It's back to Ulrich, dropped it, wheeled and got it before it went out of bounds into the Kentucky cheerleaders. The fans want a double dribble as he took another one-bounce dribble after picking it up on the bounce. Here it is to Nays on the left, across the defense to Reinberg. He gets clear from 20, flips it back to Ulrich to Parks on the baseline. Beckmeyer's got it, loses it. Mobley's got it. Right under the St. Louis basket. In front court to Ishmael. Back to Mobley, driving. Got it. A beautiful pass by Chili Ishmael. And Kentucky goes on top with back-to-back field goals by Mobley and Cron. 28-27. Ulrich of St. Louis. This is exactly the way Kentucky started the first half. On the baseline, Beckmeyer over Deacon, short. Nash taps it outside. Deacon runs it down too late, but it's Kentucky's ball. Beckmeyer touched it last. Mobley gives to Cron. Last game of the season for the Coliseum under the Wildcats. Nash at the free throw line. Got no good. Wide open on the free throw line. Nash misses a jump shot. He has been held to 1 field goal tonight in his bow-out game for Lexington. We played 2 minutes of the last half. Kentucky leads by 1. Reinberg on the left side to Nays. Gets it back. Across to the right side. Ulrich. Back to Reinberg, to Ulrich. Down the right side, Nays, given a 15-footer. He missed it. On the rebound, Ishmael of Kentucky. Wheels him out of there with a pass to Cron. Past the timeline, down the left side, in the corner to Nash. He takes the shot, misses everything. Glances just barely off the front of the rim. To St. Louis, Rich Nays. Kentucky holds on to a 1-point lead as Nash now has missed the last 2 shots down court. 2.5 minutes gone in the last half. On the baseline to Parks. He shoots. It's good. It's nullified as Beckmeyer was goaltending. Beckmeyer hit the ball while it was above the ring of the basket. That's right. That's goaltending. The ball, once it's above the ring of the basket, in the sphere of the ring, it cannot be touched. So Kentucky leads by 1 point still. Mobley from 20 misses. Nash with a rebound. Fall-away shot by Nash. Misses everything. Cron picks it up and gives to Deacon. Out to Nash. From 20 he shoots. Good. And the Cats lead 30-27 after 3 minutes of the second half. Nash finally finds the range. St. Louis still scoreless this half. They had a lead of 27-24 at halftime. In front court, Reinberg from 20. Got it. It looked to us like maybe Parks had the field goal when Beckmeyer needlessly tapped it in. 30-29 as Cron in front court gives to the right side Ishmael. Out to Mobley, breaks down the right side to the baseline, comes back, can't shoot, hooks it out to Deacon on the free throw line. He gives to Cron, off the left side Mobley, back out front to Cron, down the middle Nash, the hook from 10, no good. Beckmeyer rebounds for St. Louis, and the Billikens now have the go-ahead chance. Rick Reinberg walking up the backcourt unopposed, crosses the white stripe in center court, flips it over Cron's head to Ulrich and gets it back. On the baseline, Parks The shot on Deacon is short. Beckmeyer taps it in beautifully. Beckmeyer seemed like he took it right to the board on Nash and tapped in his 15th point of the game. And St. Louis leads 31-30. Tommy Cron in front court, down the left side to Mobley. Gives to Deacon on the side. He reverses on Beckmeyer, goes under, stops, and hooks it in. John Bennington off the bench thought Deacon was walking with the ball. 32-31 rather. They hung up a 12-point trip by Deacon then. Nays on the left side gets it, throws all the way across the defense to Parks, who slams it out on the jump to Ulrich, who hits a 10-foot jump shot. Ulrich's first field goal of the night, and St. Louis goes ahead 33-32. Tommy Cron in front court. Flips it to Mobley. Right side to Ishmael. Brings it to the free throw line. Deals it to Deacon. Open from 16. Got it. Deacon, the first Kentuckian with double figures, has 11. Kentucky ahead by 1. Sam Ulrich in front court for St. Louis. 5 minutes gone in the last half. On the right side, Nays of St. Louis. Back to Ulrich. To Reinberg on the left, deep. Across the zone. Ulrich from 15 feet misses. Off the rim. Beckmeyer takes it away from Deacon and lays it in. Beckmeyer's second field goal of the half. Beckmeyer just sleight of handed that one on Deacon, just slipped it away from him for a 1-point St. Louis lead. Mobley in front court. Flips it on the pivot to Nash. Wide open, driving. Nash hung Parks outside with a quick fake and a drive, and the Cats lead 36-35. The team's hitting on back-to-back terms now. Ulrich in front court takes a high pass from Reinberg. A one-bounce dribble, looks to the middle, nothing there. Still staring in, throws to Parks on the line, wide open, he lays it in. St. Louis cheating Kentucky badly on the baseline with their two big men, Beckmeyer and Parks, to lead 37-36. 14 minutes to play. Deacon from 15 got it. Deacon with 13 points keeps Kentucky ahead by 1 as Garrison waits to get in for St. Louis. 38-37 Kentucky. The teams hitting, banging away at each other on even terms. Here it is to Parks on the baseline. Deacon moves in. He gives outside to Nays, who drives and shoots good. Beckmeyer was on the floor then. Nays gets his 7th point. St. Louis leads by 1 again, 39-38. Mobley to Nash on the pivot. He drives on Parks, who fouled him across the arms. Parks of St. Louis draws his 3rd foul. That's the first one this half against the Billikens. And big 6'8" Gary Garrison comes in with a heavily taped right knee, and Beckmeyer comes out. Garrison, who is 2 inches shorter, will go to the pivot. Nash is being given 1 shot. Nash has 10 points tonight. Nash has hit 4 for 6. 13:32 to go. Nash a chance to tie. Got it. So for the 3rd time, the game is deadlocked. 39 all. 2 of the 3 times, Kentucky has come from behind to tie up. Easing up over the center stripe, Reinberg feeds to the left side. Across to Ulrich on the baseline. Parks, the 10-foot shot, hits the top of the backboard. Beckmeyer lays it in good. Or check us on that. It was Nays that laid it in, his 2nd field goal. The fans booing the lack of a call then because the ball bounced off the top of the backboard. But the Billikens lead by 2, 41-39. Here's Deacon from 20 feet, missed it. Runs in and gets his own rebound at the baseline. A blind pass outside to Ishmael. Over to Mobley, who hooks to Nash in the pivot. He gives to Deacon on the left. Deacon backs away. Outside Ishmael. Over to Mobley. In the pivot to Nash. Fouled by Parks of St. Louis. Parks now has 4 fouls. Parks, the only player for either team with 4 fouls. Nash will get 1 shot. He has 11 for the game. No good. St. Louis rebounds as Garrison picks it up and comes out of there with it. So St. Louis leads 41-39. Nash has 11 points. He needed 22 to catch Groza. 12:34 to go. St. Louis leads by 2. Ulrich in front court. Kentucky doesn't play again until the 13th when they play in the NCAA at Minneapolis. Nays from 25, short. Mobley taps it off and takes it for Kentucky. And the Wildcats have a second chance to tie it up. In front court, 20 feet straight away. Mobley missed it. On the rebound, Deacon has it taken away and knocked out of bounds, but Deacon knocked it out of bounds. St. Louis wants a timeout, the second timeout of the game. Now, with a timeout, we'd like to remind you that the Standard Oil Company of Kentucky, which serves the states of Kentucky, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and Mississippi, and its dealers, have earned and enjoyed a good reputation in Kentucky and the South. This reputation is based upon a name known for honest value, fair dealing, and dependable products. Standard Oil recognizes that the confidence of the public in its products and its services imposes a great responsibility upon the people who make up Standard Oil. It is a responsibility which was sought, secured, and fulfilled. It is a responsibility which Standard Oil will continue to earn and to fulfill in the future. Standard Oil, where they take better care of your car. Friday the 13th from Minneapolis, 7:45 Eastern Time, Kentucky, and the winner of Louisville and the Mid-America Champion playoff game, the 10th, in Evanston, Illinois, will be your next action for the Kentucky Wildcats, who have a handful of Billikens here on their home floor tonight. 12 minutes, 11 seconds to play, and St. Louis leads 41-39. We pause now 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Standard Oil Sports Network.
The sound of the city, CBS in Louisville, WINN.
This is Claude Sullivan from the Coliseum in Lexington, where St. Louis returns Ginberg and Ulrich to the guard positions. Nays, Beckmeyer, and Garrison on the baseline as Parks, with those 4 fouls, has been lifted and Beckmeyer put back in. St. Louis leads by 2, just over 12 minutes to play as we resume action here in Lexington. 12,200 watching. Nays from 10 feet lays it up, no good. Taps it up, good. Nays getting his third field goal out of the half, and St. Louis moves ahead 43-39. Kentucky unable to handle the height tonight, being whipped very badly on the boards. Here it is on the left side to Deacon. Walks with it and goes over to St. Louis. Deacon started to pass the ball back out front. His man had departed while he wasn't looking, and he took an extra step. Ulrich of St. Louis back in front court. Well, this is an omen for the Wildcats. That big man is sure giving them fits tonight. On the left side, Nays whips across to Ullman from 15 feet. He got it. Ulrich gets his second field goal, and St. Louis now leads by 6 points again. Here's Ishmael from the right side, shooting no good. Out of bounds St. Louis as it goes over the backboard. 11:17 to play. St. Louis keeping Kentucky's offense cleared out from under the middle, forcing the Wildcats to shoot from the outside, and they hit only 25%. Off to the left side, Nays takes a long 20-footer, no good. Rebounding Cron, he doesn't rebound, he just slaps it outside, and it's picked up by Nays of St. Louis. Knocked out of bounds by Mobley. It goes to St. Louis. Larry Conley comes into the Kentucky lineup now. Mobley comes out. Conley played the first half and scored 3 points. Gary Garrison, a 6'8 junior for the Billikens, on the right side of offensive court. Just into the last 11 minutes of play. St. Louis by 6. Ulrich gives it over to Reinberg on the baseline to Beckmeyer. Hooked an ace from 10 feet wide open. He missed it, but a foul has been called. It's against St. Louis. Garrison. His first foul. That's the third foul of the half on the Billikens.
Committed by Garrison, his first 13 foul.
The shooter will be Cron.
Cron will get 1 free throw.
Cron, Kentucky's best free throw shooter, hitting only 50% tonight. 1 for 2. 10:50 to go. Cron, 1 shot. Missed it. That's 2 in a row for Cron tonight that he's missed. Kentucky still down by 6. Ulrich is in front court for St. Louis. Conley stabbing, can't reach it. Goes over to Reinberg. Back to Ulrich. On the left side, Nays. Across the defense. Reinberg shooting and missing. Rebounding Deacon of Kentucky. To Cron in front court. Left side, Nash. Here he goes from 15. Good. In and out. Deacon with a rebound. Comes out with a hook. No good. Beckmeyer takes it off for St. Louis. St. Louis leading 45-39 as we reach the midpoint of the second half. On the baseline, Beckmeyer with a hook on Deacon short. On the rebound, Cron knocks it down and takes it for Kentucky, and he's fouled by Beckmeyer of St. Louis. Beckmeyer goes to the bench to get some words from John Bennington. Beckmeyer in the game, and Parks on the bench of St. Louis each have 4 fouls. Cron will get 1 shot. That is 6 fouls this half on St. Louis. So the bonus will be in effect after this. Cron has now missed 2 free throws. Kentucky got a field goal by Deacon at 13:57, and they haven't scored a field goal since then. Cron's free throw is good, cuts the St. Louis lead to 45-40. Going into tonight's game, Tommy Cron had only missed 3 field goals. He's missed 2 in this game. St. Louis on the attack. On the baseline, Garrison gives. Nays has it stolen by Conley to Ishmael, to Conley in front court, 3-on-3. Conley gives off on the left to Deacon. He's open from 10 feet, missed everything. Ishmael steals the rebound from Garrison, gives to Cron, out to Deacon. On the right side, Ishmael, a 20-footer, no good. Beckmeyer is the only man who jumped for the ball, so he's the one that ended up with it. 45-40 St. Louis. This game is not designed to be this low scoring. Ulrich handling it for St. Louis. On the right to Nays. Back to Ulrich. Left side, Reinberg throws it up on the basket, near the basket, and is tapped in by Beckmeyer. Beckmeyer's 3rd field goal, and St. Louis leads for the first time by 7 points. 47-40. So if the Cats are going to get going, they better get up. Here's Cron from 25, no good. Conley, a beautiful tap. Larry Conley with a fingertip tap almost rim high for a 6'3¼ sophomore. 47-42, St. Louis. Conley trying to cheer him up at 8:28. Ulrich in front court for St. Louis. Moves into the free throw line, bounces one, and Deacon steals for Kentucky. Up in the front court for the Wildcats. He gives to Tommy Cron. Over to the left, Conley moves to the baseline from 5 feet. He's open, missed it. Nash for the rebound, loses it. Nash had one and lost it, and St. Louis gets it back. There was a big chance for Kentucky to cut down that 5-point St. Louis lead with 8 minutes to go. St. Louis has given Nash only 3 field goals tonight. Ulrich on Cron, misses. Deacon with a rebound. Out to Cron. Up to Ishmael. To Conley, rather, from 25 feet. To Nash, 10-footer. Way short. Deacon taps, no good. Ishmael taps, no good. Deacon with a rebound. Foul. It's on Ulrich of St. Louis, and Deacon will go 1+.
The foul was committed by Ulrich, his 2nd, 15 foul. Deacon will have 1 free throw.
We have the bonus in effect on our chart as Ulrich, Beckmeyer, Parks with 2, Garrison give it, but apparently we've missed one there someplace. Deacon has given only 1 shot. That's right, 5. Correct us on that. 7:27. Clock running. 47-43 St. Louis. A miscount on our part. There's only 5 personals at this point on St. Louis. Billikens working it around in front court. They have a substitute coming off the bench now for late play, Albright. Nays gives on the baseline to Beckmeyer. Bounce pass to Nays right down the middle. He's fouled as he tries to get a shot up. Nash of Kentucky draws his first foul of the game. That's only the 2nd foul this half against Kentucky. 2 shots being given to Nays of St. Louis. St. Louis has lifted Ullman to bring in 6'2" Randy Albright, 170-pound sophomore from Sparta, Illinois. The first shot by Nays is good. Until then, Nays had missed 3 in a row. He's 2 for 3 as he stands in there for his 2nd shot at 7:01 and gets it. St. Louis leading 49-43. Cron to Conley in front court in the left corner, and his shot, no good. Rebounding, nobody yet. Now it's knocked out of bounds by Beckmeyer of St. Louis, and they give it to Kentucky as Beckmeyer hits the floor. Kentucky alive on a close one there. Out of bounds as it's knocked away by St. Louis. Randy Albright. Cron whips it into Ishmael, gets it back. Left side, Deacon. Outside, Ishmael. Back to Deacon on the left. Back to Cron. To Ishmael. From 25. No good. Rebounding, Conley outside as Deacon tapped it to him. From 10 feet, Conley got it. Conley is the only one with spark right now, and Kentucky's back within 4 points. 49-45. Can Conley get them going? 6:17 to go. They're trailing by 4. Albright on the free throw line to the right. Gives it to Garrison in the right corner. Across the defense it goes to Reinberg. Ishmael backs him away. He feeds deep to Albright. Back to Albright from Reinberg on the right side. Bounce and a hook by Garrison. No good. Foul on the play. It's on Ishmael of Kentucky. The goal's good. Ishmael gets his second foul. The third of the half on Kentucky. Garrison's field goal is his third of the game, and he's got one free throw coming. St. Louis leads by 6 at 5:57. Garrison, both feet up on the line, hitting only 56.5% for the season. Missed it. Tapped up by Beckmeyer, who fouled Deacon. And that's all of it. Beckmeyer fouls out of the game. 5 minutes and 56 seconds to play. So as Beckmeyer fouls out of the game with 19 points, Kentucky has a chance. Beckmeyer goes out with 9 field goals and a free throw on 2 tries, and Rich Parks with 4 fouls comes in to replace him. The big man, Beckmeyer, 6'10", has fouled out. So now the question is, can Kentucky, with one big man, 6'10", Beckmeyer out of there, cope with a 6'8" man, Gary Garrison? Deacon will be on the line for 1 foul. This is the 6th one on St. Louis now. The shot by Deacon is good. Kentucky has missed 2 free throws this half. They trail by 5, 51-46. Cron pressing in the backcourt a bit against Albright, who gets over the line. Bounce pass over to Reinberg. Reinberg down the left, gives to Parks in the left corner. Out to Albright on the right side. Garrison from 10, missed it. On the rebound, it's picked off by Nays, and Conley fouled him. That's 4 fouls on Conley, and 4 fouls on Kentucky this half. Rich Nays will be on the St. Louis free throw line for 1 shot. Nays has hit 3 and missed 3. The free throw, good. St. Louis leads 52-46, and there are now 5 minutes, 35 seconds to play. Tommy Cron in front court gives it left side Conley, the 10-footer, over the rim, no good. Cron steals from Nays of St. Louis. Out to Nash, to Conley. Outside Ishmael. Fine play by Cron then. Down the left to Deacon. Back to Ishmael out front to Deacon. Back to Ishmael. Over to Cron. Kentucky not running anything now. Cron from 20 misses. Rebounding Parks of St. Louis hands it to Albright. Kentucky now just taking the outside shot. 4:55 to play, and St. Louis leads by 6 with the ball. Parks wide open under the basket to Garrison, who lays it in. Garrison makes it 54-46, and St. Louis leads by 8 now. Up in the front court now. Cron, a bounce pass, Deacon on the left. The shot no good, and St. Louis has got it. Garrison takes the rebound. So the Billikens have it with 4.5 minutes, a big 8-point lead. A team that's lost 11 ball games beat them last Monday, and a team that's lost 11 ball games has got them down now by 10 points as it's laid in by Parks. His second field goal of the half. Nobody in backcourt with Cron. Finally, Ishmael comes down. There's no substitution in the works, apparently, for Kentucky. No action on the bench right now. It's Deacon to Ishmael, who hits from the left corner. Ishmael gets his first point of the second half. 56-48 St. Louis, and we're into the last 4 minutes of play. Up in the front court is Albright of St. Louis. Back to Reinberg. St. Louis throwing everything across the defense, running it, and Kentucky looks like a tired ball club. Here's Mays on the right, laying it in, but it's nullified. A foul has been called on Deacon of Kentucky. Deacon's foul is his first one tonight. 3:43 to go, and St. Louis leads by 8. Well, it seems like St. Louis will keep the magic touch on Kentucky unless the Wildcats can find some energy someplace. The shot is good. St. Louis leads 57-48, and Kentucky calls its first time out of the game. Well, the Wildcats came out storming tonight in the first minute of play when they ran ahead by 6-0, and then went dead. Here in the second half, they came out running and took the lead, but they've been unable to keep up the pace they set for themselves. St. Louis led 27-24 at halftime, but then to start the second half, Cron, Mobley, and Nash hit field goals and put Kentucky ahead 30-27. Now we're getting our substitute, Randy Embry, a 20-year-old junior from Owensboro, to come in at guard. 5'11", 170. Embry will be the man who Kentucky perhaps will be keying on to do the shooting, as they need shooting now badly. They hit only 25% the first half of play. St. Louis owns a 7-6 series edge on Kentucky. John Bennington owns a 3-2 edge on Adolph Rupp, and now Mobley is being put into the lineup as Adolph Rupp is going to go down to his bench and try to get some fresh reserves into action. Apparently, Ishmael and Cron will be lifted, but let's wait to see. We'll be back with you Friday the 13th from Minneapolis, where Kentucky will play in the first game of the doubleheader Friday night. 7:45 Eastern Time. Kentucky will play either Louisville or the champion of the Mid-America Conference, which will be decided this weekend play. For Kentucky now, we have Embry and Mobley at the guards, Nash in the pivot, Conley, Deacon in the forwards. Although as they line up, they do not give us a center. They're going to clear the middle and go for the outside. 3:43, Kentucky down by 9. It's into Mobley. Up over the center line. Left side, Deacon. Out to Embry. Right side, Nash. In the corner, Mobley. Taking the shot. No good. Deacon taps it out of bounds, and St. Louis takes over. Parks out of bounds for the Billikens. Kentucky is in a press. Parks can't get it in play. Now throws it. Conley steals, but out of bounds. St. Louis. Parks again to put it in play for the Billikens. 3:28 left. A whistle, and Kentucky gets the ball. Parks didn't get it in play in 5 seconds. Randy Embry will put it in. St. Louis timeout. The third timeout of the game. John Bennington wants the timeout to talk with the referee. Bennington with the right hand holding up all 5 fingers, apparently indicating that he didn't think his man had the full 5 seconds. Well, Kentucky has got a full-size job cut out for themselves here tonight. They're down by 9 points, 57-48. Can they get hot enough to pull this one out? Well, we'll see here very shortly. It's interesting to note that only one time this year has Kentucky been beaten on anything other than a Monday night. Just a week ago tonight, a team that had lost 11 games beat them in an upset at Tuscaloosa. And now here on their home floor, a team that came to town with 11 losses has them on the ropes at 3:28. Terry Mobley will put it in play. St. Louis reporting back without changing the lineup. The pass is into Embry. Down the right to Nash. Back to Mobley, to Deacon. Mobley outside. A 25-foot shot, no good. Garrison of St. Louis clears. He's fouled by Conley of Kentucky. And Conley is out of the game on 5 personal fouls at 3:17. So Kentucky has lost its spark plug now, and Tommy Cron is being sent in. As perhaps you heard Jack Buck say, who visited us at halftime, he was surprised at Kentucky's inability to handle the big men tonight. Garrison of St. Louis gets one, no good. St. Louis has got it back. Albright takes it, 3:13 and the clock running. Kentucky certainly has had their chances lately, but can't score. Garrison to Parks as St. Louis fights the press. It's over to Albright. To Nays. St. Louis in a stall. Kentucky pressing desperately. Wide open, Nays lays it in. Nays gets his fourth field goal of the half, and for the first time, St. Louis has an 11-point lead. Right side, Nash missed it. Parks rebounds for St. Louis. Deacon knocks it down, but Parks gets it back. Nash has been held to 3 field goals tonight. He has 11 points. He's in double figures for the first time in 3 games. St. Louis stalling at 2:27. They lead by 11. Garrison gets it to Albright. Kentucky scored 59 last Monday, 42 Saturday, and right now they've got only 48. So their offense in the last 3 games has really given out. Nays, stolen by Mobley. He's got a gimme crip shot. St. Louis leading 59-50, 1:59 to go. Parks out of bounds to Albright. 1-1 with Mobley in backcourt. Over the line. St. Louis leads by 9, 1:46 to go. Foul, Deacon of Kentucky. Deacon's second foul. The 7th on Kentucky. The bonus is in effect for Parks of St. Louis. Parks has not missed a free throw. Kentucky unbeaten on its home floor this year. Down by 9 at 1:45. Parks got it. St. Louis by 60-50. The bonus coming up. Good. St. Louis for the second time by 11. Has 11. Randy Embry moves it in front court. Left side to Deacon. From 15, good. Deacon has 17 points to pace Kentucky. 61-52. Parks of St. Louis in front court. Wide to the right. Turns and moves out with the ball. 1:25 left as Garrison gets it against Nash in the corner. Nash shoves him from the rear. Second foul on Nash will send Garrison up 1+. Garrison has had 2 free throws and missed them both. There is 1:23 to go. Garrison shooting good. Gives him 9 points. St. Louis leads by 10. Garrison with a bonus free throw, the first of the second half, no good. Nash gets the rebound for Kentucky. Up in the front court. Moves to the free throw line and shoots, no good. Deacon taps, short. Nash rebounds, wide open, lays it in. That's Nash's 4th field goal. 1:06 to go. Mobley steals in backcourt, getting it away from Albright. To Cron, driving, he got it. 62-56. St. Louis leads by 6 points. 53 seconds left. It's thrown in. Cron steals, throws it right back out of bounds. Tommy Cron had it and threw it right back in the crowd. St. Louis got it with a 6-point lead. 48 seconds. The clock moving and Mobley fouls. Mobley has 4. Albright will shoot 1+. Albright's hitting only 60% of his free throws, but that's pretty good for the Billikens. They had only 1 starter hitting better than 60%. It's no good. Nash rebounding for Kentucky. Fights out, 45 seconds to go. Down by 6. Nash from 25. Got it. St. Louis leads by 4. In backcourt, driving out of there with the ball is Albright. Throws it over to Nays, wide open. He lays it in, good. And Nays gets away from Kentucky to lay it in. 30 seconds left. St. Louis by 6. Mobley from the left, got it. cuts the St. Louis lead to 4 points. 23 seconds to go. Nays has got it in front court. A foul by Nash of Kentucky. Third foul by Nash. Kentucky down by 4 points now, storming back at 64-60. Nays gets 1+. Kentucky may have fouled the wrong man. Nays is the best free throw shooter they've got this half. And the shot is good. Nays hadn't missed 1 in 5 shots this half. And Kentucky picked him out to foul. He got it again, and St. Louis leads by 6. 19 seconds left. Cron in front court to Randy Emery. 20 to the right. No good. Nash with a rebound. A fall-away one-hander on Parks is short. Tapped by Deacon, no good. 9 seconds. Stolen by Embry on the rebound to Cron from 10. It's no good. And St. Louis has got it. 3 seconds left. Embry ties him up. And a foul on Embry. Embry fighting a little bit too much after he had Albright tied up. Albright 0 for 1 gets 1+. Well, St. Louis seemingly has it wrapped up with a 66-60 lead and 2 seconds to go and a man on the free throw line. How about this? Back-to-back Mondays, a team beaten 11 times, rising up to crack the number 2 team in the nation. Albright hits and will get the bonus. It's no good. Nash with a rebound. 1 second, he throws it, and the game's over. St. Louis upsets Kentucky. The first time Kentucky has lost on its home floor this season. 67-60 is your final score. Nothing can be more annoying than a flat tire, especially in an out-of-the-way place. So that's reason enough for making sure your tires are in good condition. But what is more important, the safety factor. Slick, worn tires are a hazard on any road under any road conditions. Play it safe. Get a safety tire check at your Standard Oil dealer. If new tires are needed, you're at the right place. Your Standard man has the best tire bargain in town, Atlas, the tire with built-in safety. Atlas tires are designed to hold the road so firmly that they stop fast on wet pavement. You'll drive with more confidence because you'll be driving on tires that your Standard Oil dealer sells with confidence, because Atlas tires are nationally known for safety, long life, and economy. Atlas tires sold, serviced, and guaranteed by Standard Oil, where they take better care of your car. Tonight for St. Louis, Gil Beckmeyer was the man the Wildcats couldn't handle. He fouled out at 5:56 with 19 points on 9 field goals and a free throw. Another man who gave the Wildcats fits, especially in the second half, was Rich Nays, who came in averaging 12.2 as St. Louis' second-best scorer, and he came up with 16 points and took scoring honors with a total of 21 for the game. He got 16 points the second half. Nays finishes with 7 field goals, and on the free throw line hits 7 out of 10 for his 21 points. The other scoring for the Billikens tonight in a victory here at the Coliseum in Lexington, they have Rich Parks scoring 10 points, 4 free throws, and 2 field goals. 10 points by Parks.